Welcome to the Fluffy Cow Studio. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. Today is the What Would You Make challenge. I'd like to thank the ladies for hosting this for doing an open invite. There's Brenda at Rustic and Lace DIY who is hosting, as well as, and I know I'm going to slaughter this name, Devin Dezanz. I'm sorry if I ruined that name. And for a guest host will be Kathy Joe at Kathy Joe DIYs. Now we're going to get on with our thing. I will place these guys' links in the description box. Okay, now I'm going to take this crate from the dollar store and I am painting it yellow, lemon from Folk Art. Now, if I had this to do over again, I'd probably stain this part. That way my little accessories would show up a little bit better. But I am doing this in yellow and I'm painting the inside, the outside, I'm painting it all. And I will do two coats, but I'm only going to show you one. Okay, and now this is a crate from the, well, it's a palette, but it's from the dollar store, and I'm going to be painting the things in the little wood strips in yellow and white. And I'm going to be doing that on both sides and on the bottom and top and on the sides. My heck, I am like brain dead right now. And I'm just gonna do them. We'll do two coats on them as well. Now I'm gonna go over them with the white. And I will come back and do those two boards that are holding it all together. But I wanted to let this get dry first, so I could turn it upside down. Okay, and once I get this palette painted and set it aside to dry, I will be painting some rails, and they are about a ½ inch in diameter, and they are about 8½ inches long. Now you don't have to go quite that high if you don't want to. I'm painting them white, and now I'm just going to do the bottom, and I don't know why I showed this. I'm going to do the bottom and do a quick coat, double coat, but I don't show that. And then I will, when these get dry, then I'll flip them over and paint and do a double coat as well. Okay, and now, oh, I guess I did. I don't know why I didn't cut that out, but now I'm just kind of going in between them all, and I don't know why I didn't do this at first to get the thing, and then now I am doing the boards that hold it all together, the ones that go across, and I'm painting them in white as well. Okay, now I am taking this little clip art that I got off of I think it was Pinterest. It was a free one. And then I just and it says lemonade 25 cents. Yes, we are making a lemonade stand. And I just went ahead and glued that on. And right now I'm gluing some little lemon slices on there because I didn't quite um, get that picture in straight. And I didn't show this, but I do go over it with Mod Podge. And then I am going to glue these posts on, making sure they're even on both sides. And then I let them dry. And I'm using Titebond glue on there because it's a better glue. And now I'm just gluing on a little pitcher of lemonade, a miniature pitcher of lemonade and some glasses. And I got some other little glasses of lemonades that are quite a bit smaller. And I'm going to glue them on. And then I'm going to take these crates that I have and I'm going to take some, I got these lemon beads and they're weird. They only have one hole in them, so I don't know how you use them as beads. But anyway, I'm using them as lemons and I'm putting them in my crates. I got all these off of Temu. They were very cheap. And then I am gluing that to the side of the side of the lemonade stand on both sides and to the post. Kind of give that post a little extra support. I was going to do them in the back and put them in the back, but I decided, in the open part of the crate, but I decided no, I'm going to put them out here in front, and then you don't have to, it's all where you can see it. Then I'm going to take this little bag of sugar. Oh no, actually right now, sorry, I'm taking some little cookies. They're not quite in size with the lemonade, but that's okay. And I'm just going to put a few on each side of the lemonade stand. Then I'm going to glue this bag of sugar on the front. And now I'm going to take some of that Titebond and I'm going to glue the roof on. And once that gets dry, then I'm going to make this garland, but I don't show you all of it because it kind of takes a long time, but because I had to drill the holes in the lemon beads a little bit more. These are lemon slices, and what I'm doing is taking 3 of these pony beads, white pony beads, and then I'm going to put a slice of lemon, and then 3 beads, and then a slice of lemon. And I do that to get it across, and I only go across the front. Then I'm going to glue the sides on, the little ropes at the ends, the little beads to the thing, and then I'm going to go along and glue every one of the lemons, there's not very many, and glue them to the side as well, to the roof as well. And now I am taking a little bow and just making a simple bow, and I'm going to glue that on to each end, and it's just a little yellow thin piece of ribbon. And I'm sorry that I'm out of frame. Okay, and here is our final project, and the best part is those fluffy little cows at the end there. With their little lemons. And then we got another little fluffy cow that I sat back just to stage them, but this is our little lemonade stand, and like I said, I wished I would have done the poles in the bottom crate in stain. That way the little pitcher of lemonade would stand out just a little bit better. I thought this turned out pretty cute. I hope you do too. Love them little cows. Again, I want to thank um, Brenda at Rusty Can Lace, and I know I'm gonna slaughter her name. Um, Devin Dezens. Dezens. It's D-E-Y. Oh, D-E-Z-Y-N-Z. I hope I did not ruin her name. For our and Kathy Joe at Kathy Joe DIYs, and Kathy Joe is the guest host. I want to thank these ladies, and I will leave their links in the description below. Now I'm going to take this birdhouse from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut out a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to glue it over this, and you'll see why in a minute. And I'm just going to use some Titebond and glue it on. On this one, I recorded the whole thing and realized I don't know what happened. I think I plugged or unplugged something and my camera went off. So I'm doing another one of these houses to show you because that was kind of the main thing. And then I'll just kind of explain as we go for the rest. But I'm just gluing this cardboard onto the little house. And we're going to turn it into a house instead of a birdhouse. And then I'm just going to take some water. I thought I cut this out. And I'm just not doing very well today brain-wise. So anyway, I'm putting some little bit of water on and letting that sit, and then I am going to pull that part of the top layer off. I want my house to look old and like it's been there for a long time, and so like maybe the stucco's fallen off or something. And now I'm taking some sandpaper and just going in between those the corrugated parts. I'm going to do that on all the sides, and then I'm going to paint it all black. And I do that all the way around. I do underneath the roof and on the edge of the roof and on the bottom of the house on that little stand. But I don't do the bottom side because it's hard enough to glue on what we're going to glue it onto. So I was thinking, sometimes these old houses, they're old like this, get a name of being haunted. I don't know that I believe in haunted, but anyway, right now I'm going to take some pine cones and I'm going to glue them onto the roof. And I broke these off of the pine cone. I actually had to cut some of them. Man, I didn't realize how sharp the bottom parts of those things are. But I'm just gluing them all the way up to the top. And then I will do the other side. And I'm just using hot glue. That seemed to work just fine. I was going to tell you a story about my great grandfather had a house that, was a couple houses up from us, and I never got the opportunity to know him. I wished I did. He seems like he was a pretty cool guy. And anyway, um, the house sat there for years, and my mom thought it was haunted because Unbeknownst to her, my brother found a key or got a key to the house, and him and his buddies would go up there and party and stuff, and she'd see lights or something going on at night. And then she wouldn't go up in the night, but in the day she'd just kind of go up and look around and realize that things had been moved around. And so she was just sure that thing was haunted. And I don't believe in hauntedness, but anyway, so as kids, we thought that house was really haunted too. And turns out it was just my stupid brother getting together with his friends, having a place to hang out, probably doing things he wasn't supposed to do. And I'm sure that if my grandfather and my dad knew he was doing that, that would have been the end. But especially the fact that he upset my mom so much. I'm just taking a little black at first to go over the tops of the edges. Then I took a little of the roof, and then I took a little bit of nutmeg on the sides of the house. And now I am taking some antique white and going over the rest of that little house. And I'm kind of not putting too much paint on the part that we have the corrugated cardboard showing. We want it to make it look like some of that siding is fallen off. Or not siding, stucco or whatever they used back then. Okay, now I am going to draw a little door. Just taking some black paint and drawing a door. You could even use a marker if you didn't want to do this. And then I'm going to do a couple windows on the sides. The thing with my brother is once he found out my mom, was thinking it was haunted, then he just played jokes on her all the time. That poor lady. Now I'm taking some True Blue and I am taking this pine cone. I realized that looks like a pine tree. So I am going to take some of the True Blue and I'm going to go over, and I'm just dabbing. There's no way you can paint this with just, painting it straight. You got to just kind of dab inside of all those little nooks. And I do this in True Blue, and then by the time I get the little one done, the other one's dry enough. I can do it in Kelly green. I put a little Kelly green on there. Do the same thing, dabbing. And if you hit and miss, it doesn't really matter because you're going to have other colors showing through. And sometimes you might miss and let some of the brown shine through from the pine cone, and that's okay because, the leaves or the limbs are brown. And anyway, then once I get these on and dab it up and stuff, then I will take a limeade green from Apple Barrel. These are from Apple Barrel except for the True Blue, and that is Folk Art. Now I'm taking just that limeade, and I'm just brushing the edges, just going over the edges because I want it to brighten it up. The sunshine hits the edges and sometimes doesn't get into the heavy branch, which is inside the tree. So we're just going to do um, brush it on the edges. Okay, now this is the part that I missed out on. Um, my friend at work found this and he thought it was way cool. It was a piece of wood that had been burnt in a wildfire, and he put resin on the top of it, and he had it for quite a while and decided he didn't want it anymore. And so he gave it to me, and I've been debating what to do with it. Because it has acrylic on, I don't want to put um, flower. I was going to put some succulents or something in it, but I don't know if they'd do very well with being coated with acrylic. And maybe they'd be fine, I don't know. But so I'm gluing some of uh, the trees on. I also put some moss in places where I thought it was. Right here, to me it looked like it should be a place for a waterfall, and so that's kind of what I'm doing, is making it look like a waterfall, just touching it up with some white. I put some wildflowers on there. I glued the house on, and I used E6000 for the house, but I just used hot glue for the others, and it actually worked, I think, a little bit better. Um, a lot of things didn't want to stick to that acrylic, but used some bottle caps, some water bottle caps for the stones, and I just put moss around, and just anywhere I felt like it needed some stuff, and I put some things. I wished I had a little bit more miniature things like for fairy gardens, but all of my stuff was just a little bit out of scale for this, so this is what we ended up with. I do like that old piece of wood, but I just didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I thought I'm going to take it because, you know, he had given it away, he'd given it to me, and I just wanted to do something with it. So this is our What Would You Do challenge. There will be a description, a link to the playlist so you can watch some of the other ladies. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And if you like what you see, hit the like button. And remember, you may be one person in this great big world, but you may mean the world to one person. Never doubt your value. With that being said, you guys have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and take care. See you next time.